Maximum ready.
Excuse me.
All right. And here we are with session 3 of the Impossible Tower, as it is called. So, where last we left off, this most unfortunate band of, I don't want to say adventurers because that feels a little inaccurate, but this unfortunate band of individuals continued their exploration of this long-abandoned and ancient Orion ruin on a tiny, deserted scab of an island in the middle of a torrential storm out in the middle of the ocean, long forgotten and uncharted. During their explorations, they came across all manner of hints and clues and signs of those who were here before, thoroughly mapping out the first floor before making any forward progress in the plot, which is honestly to their benefit. They uncovered old remnants of what once happened here, ancient cells where research victims were kept, notes on different compounds and procedures and experiments enacted upon them to see how mortal flesh would respond to all manner of horrific augmentations. To what precise end, you can guess, but have no concrete assurances. Even the power of a comprehend languages spell having a hard time piercing the old colloquialisms of the old Orions. Regardless, eventually determining that your best chance for rescue would be to activate the light at the summit of this lighthouse, which requires a lift be active, you descended into the tower's basement, where the power supply for the whole tower is ostensibly to reside. There you did indeed find a reactor or power generator of some description, ancient Orion machinery predating the inception of modern-day arcane enchantment. It was out of power, but a narrow claustrophobic passage brought you to a storeroom with the fuel rods you needed to reactivate the device. But in your scavenging for materials, Gijo shone a light into a hole, one of many you've seen around this ancient ruin, where this tower's sole occupant until your arrival has been sleeping for who knows how long. And with firelight and fresh meat disturbing its slumber, it rose and gave chase, an amorphous mass of chattering, shrieking, hungering, black, decomposed, self-digested slime, coming after you like a tidal wave of hunger and avarice, chasing you through the narrow claustrophobic confines you had navigated to reach the room. Through a series of clever tactics, employing its discovered aversion to fire, you were able to slow it down, Gijo, long enough for everyone else to get through and reactivate the generator, though in the last moments before you could have made your escape, as you tried to break and run, the beast's many hands and tendrils tore into your flesh and across your back and front, and in a brief moment it seemed as if your life was about to end. But with the reactivation of the machine and a surge of powerful radiation, the beast hesitated, distressed by what had just happened and the alarms, as if afraid of what is happening. Or perhaps just has a higher priority than you somewhere else. You're already a broken, dying husk, after all. It can always come back for you. And so with whatever its higher priority is sequestered away, the mass took its leave, leaving a brutalized and dying Gijo lying on the floor in a pool of his own blood, making death saves. And so it is on that point that we shall begin. So, my friends, bloodied and battered as you are, the first thing that needs to happen is, Gijo, I need you to make me a death saving throw.
Okay. All right, I got. All right, where is that in here? Ah, I found it. Okay.
Yep,
so
you can just click
roll.
it and it'll just roll it. All right, that is one failure.
Oh no.
We'll have a turn order up for this just because it makes sense to. the mass has gone, so I will delete it for the time being. Alright, so that was Gijo's go for his death save, which means, Fabian, what are you doing?
The thing's on, right?
The machine? Yes, the machine is now active, and you just got a face full of radiation, which is why you lost 6 hit points.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you feel like this burning tingling across your face and your skin, and just a sickly feeling permeating your torso. Something bad happened to you, though you're not 100% sure what it is just now. I'm also going to delete these fires because they look fugly.
You know, I hope you guys appreciate the immersion I have right now.
Yeah, Fabian's player Impulsive is actually sick right now. And also
My
didn't tell
chest
us he was sick
burns.
until he got here, so...
I also was asleep until
Yeah, so... Oof, duh.
So I'm gonna go. Sorry, Gijo, I don't know that you're down. I'm running.
The last any of you heard about Gijo was Skaz shouting, "Gijo's a goner, we need to make a run for it." It's the last thing any of you heard about Gijo. So, Fabian,
Dang,
you spend
that
your
sucks.
turn to run through that door, which brings us to Skaz.
But I did hear Giju.
You heard Gijo cry out and the tearing of flesh and breaking of bones, and knew that the thing had caught up to him. So that's the last you perceived of Gijo.
Well, I know Skaga is quick right now.
That's right. Skaga
I'm
has increased movement speed.
I'm gonna draw a potion, a healing potion out of my backpack and move back to Skaga and hand her the potion and tell her, see if you can maybe save Gijo.
Yes, brother.
All right.
You may keep that one. I have one.
Okay.
All right. That is Skaz's turn. To Skaga then.
All right.
That was my phone yelling at me. Ignore that, hey.
10, 20, 30, 40. And I will dash for 10, 20, 30, 40.
All right, so
No.
Skaga, as you shove yourself back into the tunnel and start shimmying along quick as you can, I will remind everyone that in the tunnel your movement speed is halved.
Which I did.
Yes, okay, just making sure. As you advance and you come around the corner, like some part of your instincts bracing to see the thing just eating Gijo's corpse, but coming around, you see no immediate sign of the mass. You see its residue, the slippery black tar-like gunk clinging to the walls and residual embers sort of just flickering in the stones and the cracks left behind by its smothering passage. And on the ground, this mangled but breathing mound of feathers and bloodied flesh. You see Gijo, very much dying, but for the moment at least, alive. Gijo, I need you to make another death save.
Don't roll a 1.
Don't
No.
roll a 1.
The end is near.
Okay, that is 2 failures.
And so I face the
So-
final curtain.
Okay. Fabian, it's to you. Are you just continuing to book it?
I'm just making sure Fabian would have heard the, hey, he's alive. Right?
I mean, that depends. Did Skaga confirm that?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I would shout out.
Well, everyone else is
Creature's
staying
gone,
here, and he's not
here.
going to be the only one anywhere, so he's just going to stick behind.
Yeah, Fabian's like, fuck this, I don't want to be alone. I've read enough horror books to know what happens when we split up. That's how people die.
I'm going to roll a d20 to see if he's read a book before. Has he read a book before, DM?
I would say you know how to read, so I would assume you've read at least a book.
The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
I would say that you've probably read like one fiction book, probably. Maybe a little more. You know how to read common at the very least, so you've probably read a full book.
The engorging mass ate 5 adventurers, but it was still hungry.
The gibbering mouther told it, bro, calm down. And the false Hydra said, anyway. All right.
The book glitches out.
All right. Skaz, you doing anything? Or are you just holding yourself there? You're just gonna park your butt next to the hole and hold? If you're saying anything right now, Mick, I cannot hear you.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the hole and hold my action. Take a look around, and if I see anything scary, I'm gonna run.
All right, fair enough. Just holding an action to dash and book it. All right, Skaga, it is to you again.
All right. I'm gonna get to Gijo and give him that potion that I found earlier.
Right, that is 2d4 plus 4, right?
Right.
All right, roll it.
So 9.
9, okay. Not bad at all.
Pretty good.
So, Gijo, you can go ahead and remove those death saves from your sheet now.
All right.
It's not 9, it's 7. 2d4 plus 2. Sorry.
That's all. Okay. Still, it's not bad considering his max HP is 21. Could be better, but could be a lot worse. All right, so Gijo, your awareness gradually returns to you, and you are in an indescribable amount of pain. But you, at the very least, are cognizant of the fact that you are alive as you come blinking back to consciousness, still slick with your own blood and very aware that you have several broken bones in your body and that that's going to cause you problems in the long term, most likely. But for the moment, at least, your lungs are no longer filling with your own viscera. You cough a few times to get the last remnants out that sort of splatter against the front of your like chainmail or whatever you call that. You kind of glance up and you see, well, I don't know if you can actually see right now. You can't see in the dark, and I think, like, someone else had the light source?
Yeah, I had the light source, and it snuffed out when the thing attacked me.
Yeah, you used it on the thing. You threw your lantern at it.
Well, I threw, but then I was using a torch along the walls, but that torch got snuffed out when I fell down. It's probably just embers on the ground. So no, I probably can't see anything.
Well, I'll say that with those handful of embers sort of scattered around, you can just make out the light reflecting in Skaga's eyes. Sort of this mix of like bright aquamarine and orange, and fiery orange. Kind of like what happens when you see a cat's eyes reflected at you in the dark. It's a little unsettling with the vertical slit, but at the very least, it's not trying to eat you. You can turn off the turn order now.
If you're coming to rob me, I'm afraid I'm also dirt poor.
I think Skaga wouldn't get the joke, and would just, your bravery should not be wasted. My brother has found you useful. Come, and I will try to start dragging him backward with me.
Of course, that is your motivation. It's like, hey, brother finds you useful. Don't die now. That's rude. Nope, that's incredible.
The way to be useful. Da-da-da.
Can I use any sort of strength to help him along, or?
I
not
mean,
so
Gijo has
much?
enough hit points that he can walk under his own power, but if you want to be funny and drag him, make a strength check.
Drag the
Oh
bird.
no. Oh no.
I mean, he's got hollow bones. Do I have advantage?
That'll make it easier, but you're also a kobold, so...
I'm also a little kobold.
Yeah.
Sorry, my page is taking a while to open.
It's all good.
I forgot my strength is that bad.
Oh, no.
Yes.
7. Nope. You needed a 13 to successfully start dragging Gijo. So you grab hold of Gijo and you just kind of start like tugging on the shoulder fabric of his jerkin.
Hearing a couple pops come from the shoulder, just probably not a good idea. And I'll just
Yeah, it's like you just start
motion for
tugging,
him to quick
like you grab
fall
on
off.
and you start tugging and you just hear. And it's like,
Okay.
oh, not a good idea, that.
That's
Just like,
back in place.
back in place, but probably bent. You are not in good shape, my guy.
All right. I'm with this. I'm getting up. I'm getting up. And slowly he just rises and just starts. He's basically like smothered half of his body onto the wall, and he's just like shimmying.
Yeah, you
his
are.
way out.
Yeah, you're doing that. You're not in good condition, but you're able to move at least.
And as he's moving by, okay, I guess I'll have to use the last potion of healing in my inventory. Lovely.
I'll stop him,
Hmm?
and then my ringstone will glow, and I will use Cure Wounds on him instead.
Oh,
Okay.
all right, cool.
Oh, for a
Woo!
total of 11.
Wow.
All right.
And I'll just I was left behind before too.
All right, that's 11 hit points back to Gijo?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so you're up to
Nice.
18. So you're doing pretty good. All right. Also, real quick, before you get into that role-play interaction, not to interrupt, but Mick,
Sure.
could you just roll me 1d6, please?
Uh-oh. Damn it. A
Two.
2.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. What happens?
Don't worry about it. It's a thing for me to worry about.
I do worry about it.
Okay, worry about it, but I'm
worried.
not telling you.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
So yeah, I will continue on out.
Gurgling and sliding, he makes his way out and stumbles the second he leaves the gap and loses his ability to hold himself against the walls. He leans back. He's just wheezing. Just the marbling comes out.
Yeah, you're not okay, my guy.
Oh, all right. Let's get out of this bloody basement. Ah. He's just shimmying. I can't tell if that is a wall or not. Yeah, that's a wall.
Yeah, it's
He's just shimmying along the wall towards the door.
Yeah. All right, so as you leave the power room and the tingly radiation behind, you do see that these like blue inlays in the walls with that strange conductive metal. The metal is now glowing, a bright sort of silvery bluish hue, indicating the presence of Luma within it. Whatever energy, magic this place uses, it's now active. And there is still the distant chiming of that subtly off-putting alarm that almost sounds like a bell being drowned.
Hmm.
Do you think we should activate the quarantine?
Yes, that's what I was thinking about.
I am currently fastest. I will go do that.
Uh,
And
I'm
you-
not sure you can reach the lever. It's pretty high up.
I'm a good jumper.
Okay.
Look, that sucker thing moved way too fast over open terrain, and even in that gap. I think it might even be a match for you, little lass.
Let's get out of here. As
I-
long as we can.
All right. So, stop moving your tokens for a second, please. I'm going to group you all up so I can copy over your current conditions over back to the floor 1 map. All right, one moment while I just delete those and pop these here. There we go. Huh. It is weird that I somehow got 2 of you? I got 2 of each of you. What the fuck? Why are there 2? What?
Oh
What is-
no, it's the thing.
What is happening? What is happening? My what? My roll 20 is
We
frozen.
cloned ourselves. It's our safety copy.
Hang on a second. My roll 20 has just completely fucked itself. Something has gone wrong.
I don't know.
Uno reverse card. Okay. Okay, I need to rejoin as GM here now because this is okay. Okay. So I do not understand. This is weird. This is very strange. And I will do this. Okay, good. Now there's only one of you. One of each of you. Okay, I will do that, and I will move you all back to the floor 1 map. And focus ping to get everyone's on the same page. As you start to make your, exit from the basement, back out onto the first floor, upper layers, and you can hear more clearly that distant, hollow, haunting alarm that... muffled and distant, but you imagine it would be very loud and grating if you were closer to the source. So, you wish to make your way toward that, to the controls that activated the quarantine? Or do you just wish to book it for the exit?
Because we have to go up, don't we?
We have to go up. Yes.
To activate the light, yeah. But we are on the first level. We can run for the exit. Gijo would probably just say, "Look, I need a chance to catch my breath. Can we just that little garden area's nearby? Can we just get out of this stuffy building?"
I don't know
Right.
how much waiting is a good idea.
Let's try and activate this.
That thing
Measure
has been waiting here for
whatever
a
it
very
is.
long time. If there's one thing it's good at, is also waiting.
Alright. So you heading to the garden, or...
Yeah, I think that's what we discussed doing this session.
Yeah, so out of character, I'm thinking we should go to the garden because it'd just be a chance for us to regroup and actually make a plan without worrying about that thing jumping out at us.
Alright, well, if that is,
That's what we think, but there's no guarantee that it's not just washed away by the rain. The
Let-
signs that it was there.
Should we try and activate this, whatever it is, containment thing?
Quarantine zone?
We
Quarantine
don't
thing?
know. We
I
don't
have
know
no
when
idea what it
closes,
really does, but
which is why I think that someone should be. So I think most of us, most of you, should be ready to go to the light.
That sounded ominous, Skaga. When you see
I'm
the
not
light,
gonna leave your
go
sister.
towards it.
I was about to say, I've read enough books to know what that means.
I just don't. What if it locks us out of being able to go?
I don't think so.
We don't know what or where it quarantines.
Yeah. I'm not even
I-
sure what the thing even does to begin with. I
I
mean,
bet it's related to the cells, actually.
sounds most likely. And if I recall, and I do, that room also had a hole in it. That the creature's probably got tunnels all over this whole place.
You're standing
So-
right next to one of them, actually. Fabian is, in particular.
So then do we assume the quarantine will not help and we just get the lighthouse lit?
Might be our best chance.
Jeez. Alright, just an idea. Could one of us make an insight check to see like if there was anything from what we've read that might describe what the quarantine thing does, or have we been given no clues that I'm not recalling?
The only one who would be able to make a roll like that would be Skaz, and I believe from memory it would be an intelligence check, wouldn't it?
Alright.
Yes.
Because I can't
It
remember if we had any
is-
clues to what it does.
Yeah, Gijo wasn't. You're like, if you had been the one reading the Orient text, I would just tell you, Krauven intelligence, you have perfect memory. You would just know.
But I didn't.
But
I
you were
wasn't
not
reading
the.
it,
But
yeah.
you were not the one with comprehend languages, so it would have to be Skaz. So Skaz wants to do
So-
that. He can.
So, straight intelligence check.
That's
Not
how
investigation or anything. Okay.
Yeah, just straight
Uh,
intelligence is how I would
I-
rule it.
And sometimes I go with history just because it's got, like, for the ranger's favorite enemy, memory to recall is based on history.
Friggin' 19.
Right. 19's pretty good here. So, Skaz, since it's still pretty fresh in your memory, and it's all been very fascinating as you've been reading through it, and Guido, you were specifically probing about, like, what the quarantine actually did?
Yeah, or like, but basically, if we
Okay.
recall that.
Okay, so scanning over your memories sort of quickly, you sort of deduce that the function of the quarantine lever, when active, is it closes all exits from the grounds of the facility, and it also deactivates the elevator. Essentially, the idea being that it traps any escaped containments inside so that they can't escape and cause mayhem anywhere else, and they either starve out and just waste away, or are in a weakened state when a cleanup crew would show up to clear them out. Though given the state of this place, you can't rely on a cleanup crew to do anything.
Quite true.
And if that
Okay.
blighter is
this
as
is-
intelligent as it is dangerous, it might just throw the quarantine on us.
It definitely understands draconic language.
Yeah.
And
But I don't think it's too intelligent.
we should get the beacon lit then.
Let's try and get a little rest here in this place.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Taking a short rest. Upwards, at
Alright.
least.
All right, so
Under
you
one of
make
the
your way
trees.
out into the garden. Some time has passed since you've gotten here, and while it is still stormy, it is no longer quite so viscerally stormy. There's still rain coming down and still a sharp wind, but between the walls and just the passage of time, the worst of it does seem to have passed. although what little light you had left from the last vestiges of day is going away. So while the storm has faded, so is the light. So it's getting darker out here. Thematics. Is there anything you wish to do in this garden space before you attempt to take your short rest?
I'd like to attempt to start a fire. Attempt.
You can make a survival check with disadvantage.
But I believe we could help each other to do that.
True. If 2 people are willing to help Gijo out with that, then we can convert it from a disadvantage to an advantage.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So
So
re-roll.
nope. We'll just take the roll as it landed. So with Fabian and Skaz helping, we take the higher of the 2 rolls, which was a natural 20.
Yay.
Yay.
We're gonna light this whole garden on fire.
So the way this works, Gijo, with you is you are generally pretty well adept at surviving out in the wilderness. Your job helping out at caravans and escorts and wandering as a mercenary have given you plenty of training on that. The main reason you are struggling is that you're still pretty fucked up. You are still wounded. But with the relatively unharmed Fabian and Skaz giving you some aid, you're able to put in the work, and before long you have sort of sheltered under the boughs of one of the few living trees in this garden, have a cozy little fire going that's providing you with some warmth. It only takes you a handful of minutes. It's probably like a firebolt from Skaz that actually ignited it. You basically just got a ring of rocks and some sticks together. And whatever the other immediate essentials were, probably from your mess kit or whatever it
That
was.
will at least keep the cold away.
All right. So that's what those 3 are doing. Does Skaga have anything she wishes to do in the garden?
She doesn't trust that it's safe, so she's going to be on patrol and just making sure nothing sneaks up on anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perception check.
I wouldn't be wary myself.
Oh no.
Natural 1.
Oh, no.
Skaga, you are doing your best, but you are just distracted. You don't feel safe in this space, but you're also rattled by how thoroughly it proved to be a massive threat. You're on edge, your nerves are rattled. Your already kind of imbalanced mind is kind of having a silent, motionless panic attack at almost every moment right now. And there's also the fact that pretty much the moment you laid eyes on that thing, you kind of have more of a chance to process it now, but there was just something in your blood memory that was having an absolute fit. Same with Skaz, now that he thinks about it. So while you can't put a conscious thought to what it is, something about that thing your ancestry has encountered before, and it does not like it. And that is the most distracting thing.
So she will be completely pacing around the circle as you
Like,
guys are.
Yeah, you're trying to
Holding the fire.
patrol, and you're just nervously pacing instead, essentially.
Just 1,000-yard stare, and every once in a while you can see her head just twitch in a very strange way.
Yeah, you're not okay.
Well, Skaz is trying to meditate and concentrate on regaining his meager spell slots.
Indeed. Don't mind me, I'm just
because he
patching up
will
these
need
little
them.
gaps in the map. So,
Also, the hex spell will drop because I believe it's only 1 hour duration.
something to that effect, yeah. Also, you had a temporary HP buff going. I believe that goes too.
No, it actually goes away on a long rest. It's
Okay. Cool.
and I'm. However, I am gonna try and recast that anyway because I rolled very poorly, and I can cast it as many times as I like. So,
Well, regardless,
but it's
you are able to successfully
Ooh.
take a short rest. I will say. It seems that your assertion previously that this space is safe, that feeling you got that this location is as safe as you can be here, does seem to be panning out to be true, as you don't see any sign of the mass while you're resting here with that fire going. You spend this time recasting a spell. What does that 1d4 do again?
It gives me 6 temporary hit points instead of 5.
I know it's better than 5, but I digress. You spend this time just trying to calm your rattled nerves, expend some resources to heal up any residual wounds you might have, which there are a few, and bandage yourselves up and just catch your breath, and you have that in-game hour to speak and roleplay to your heart's content and make a plan. You have the full map of the facility to work with, so you, and thanks to the perfect memory of the krauven, you have a pretty solid idea of all the places where the mass could feasibly appear. So you have an opportunity to start planning and devising a strategy. I would advise you to take it.
All right. So,
This will also
let's
give
go
me a
over what
chance
we
to
already-
plug up all the shadows that I want to plug up.
all right. So, let's go over what we know about this absolutely abominable creature. 1, it's fast. 2, it hits hard. 3, it hates fire. That's all I got. Anybody else?
It's fast in the tunnels. Well, at least faster than us. But it's not really being slowed down by the tunnels as much.
It's
as
like
we
every
were.
single nightmare I've had fused together, procreated with itself, and then made that.
Nice Dragon Ball Z abridged reference.
I forgot the quote halfway through.
It's like every single nightmare I've had at once cloned itself, fucked the clone, and made those! That is terrifyingly accurate, so saith Piccolo.
Anyway, did not mean to do
But
that.
maybe we can goad it somehow.
Oh, being bait. What a great idea. That worked out so well last time.
Oh my god.
Because we only had one way to run. But if we could make it appear like up here, we could cut through the garden or whatever this is and get to the elevator.
Yeah, but keep in mind, there's a hole right outside that garden, too. There's no guarantee that that sucker can move quicker in those little tunnels. It doesn't seem to be limited by, limbs.
I would almost say it's better to go the long way. There are larger holes directly outside the garden.
Right. But we have to go through there anyway.
But it would be better than opening the door with it right there.
Might be.
Which one of us is the fastest here, anyway?
Technically
Well-
now, Fabian.
Hi.
Because Long Strider only lasts an hour.
Yeah.
And it is not a ritual.
Well, it is a ritual, but you're not a ritual caster.
No, it doesn't have the ritual tag at all.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, no, they did that for Baldur's Gate 3, but it is not. So
Right.
I'm completely tapped on abilities, and they don't come back with a short rest. So I got swords and my HP.
You just give me a moment to catch my breath, and aside from probably these few ribs, I could go again.
Okay.
The only issue is going to be, as I don't think there's any way any of us could beat that thing in a straight fight.
I don't think so, no.
Misdirection and cat and mouse seems to be our only options here. And if I had to guess, if I was the monster, first thing I'd be doing now that the power's on would be throwing that quarantine. Lock us in here with it. Can't leave through the door, can't use the elevator, and the only way is to rethrow the switch. It's probably lying in wait or something.
But why would it wait to do that when we've already given it an hour to think about it?
Who knows? Maybe it takes sadistic pleasure. It seemed quite upset at when you used that spell of yours to make it flee away. And when it was grabbing towards me, it was like a combination of primal hunger and absolutely, I don't know, like malice of some kind. Just indescribable, practically.
Are you saying I have to run out there?
Well, here's the problem. If we do split up, that creature's as wide as all the hallways around here. No way getting around it. You'd have to juke around it in like one of the larger rooms or something, and even then, that's if you could.
So no. Why aren't you talking?
I'm thinking, little one. I'm thinking.
I say we just run for it.
The problem. You mean run for the front door?
No, the lighthouse.
Of the elevator.
If we see it, I don't know how much to plan besides our route. We don't know how to activate it when we get up there.
Yeah, you don't know if you'll need more than one person.
Right.
Y'all keep planning and talking. I actually have to be right back. Catch me up on whatever I missed when I return.
Okay.
But yeah, I firmly believe that if we make any sort of run, that creature is going to go for it. It's going to go towards us. It might try to hem us in.
Pretty sure about that. Yes.
So, what we need to do is plan around this creature's own plans.
It's had thousands
Which
of years.
we don't know that they exist yet.
Better to assume a creature has intelligence behind it, rather than to think it's just a dumb beast.
I'm just saying we cannot outplan something that's lived here for thousands of years.
True, it has the knowledge of the terrain much better.
Maybe not thousands of years. Hundreds.
I thought it was like 10,000 years or whatever.
It is? Okay.
Or maybe
Might
I'm
be.
thinking of something else.
Yeah, it's a very long time. Point is, it's been here long enough, lived here long enough to know every in and out, and know exactly where fleeing creatures would probably want to go.
And what to do about it.
Yeah, the problem is that, well, let's say we do make a run for the exit. Just hypothetically here. Run for the exit. Okay, well, it's a long corridor. It's enough time for the creature to throw quarantine. Then we'd have to come back, and the only way would turn basically that into a dead end, with a whole bunch of holes for it to crawl out of next. Let's say we go for the elevator. Same thing as before. It also would become a dead end, with no way of escaping without going back out. So, comes down to... Is there a way to possibly break the quarantine option? Make it so that it can't be thrown anymore?
I don't know if it can fit through the gear slots. Wouldn't it just be able to move it even if we were no longer able... If we broke off the lever, wouldn't it still be able to because it's not...
Yeah, but it's connected to a
entirely
magical
solid?
system. It's connected to a magical system. There's some sort of magic. You disrupt that, maybe it'll prevent the quarantine itself from even starting to begin with. Like cutting off you have a river and a sluice gate. If you just redirect the river, the sluice gate becomes entirely unimportant.
I'm pretty sure that if I bombard it with my magic, well, not the lever, but the magic connections, it'll stop functioning.
As of course assuming that, it being a quarantine, it doesn't have a failsafe or something like that.
I think it is a very far distance to go for something we don't know will or will not work.
Right.
I don't think there's actually a farther point in this building than the room to throw the quarantine switch.
Alright, so you want to just try for the elevator, and then, alright, let's say the elevator does stop because quarantine has been hit. Let's plan for that, just in case. What do we do then?
Well, I have rope. Can scale down the elevator shaft and...
Well, the elevator goes up.
Yes. If we're stuck up there, it can't get us, right?
Well, no, I'm saying one is if we go into that room, activate the elevator, it hears the elevator going, and it decides, oh, hey, I'll stop you, and thus it does.
I don't know if it can get into the elevator.
No, if it throws the quarantine switch, it will stop the elevator from functioning, and it will shut all outside exits. Meaning we won't even be able to get back in here, in this little safe haven.
There were a lot of sludge marks in the elevator.
Yeah, because it can't climb it.
Possibly. Okay.
Well, I do have an idea, but I'd like to hear someone else's first.
Well, I could try and bombard the switch with magic, but that would definitely leave me trapped. I kind of only want to do that in the last... Well, actually, I don't really want to do that.
We're putting a lot of stock on it being able and knowing to throw the quarantine switch.
We have to.
But if we do that, we will never agree on anything because we do not know everything it is capable of.
Right.
No, but the point is to just plan about if it does. It's the point of plans, eventualities, contingencies.
Okay. So, what if it doesn't know how to use the switch?
Well, then go towards the elevator, I'd say.
We can run into the elevator, but it will probably take a couple of seconds to activate, and if it comes in during that time, we're pretty screwed. So maybe one of us, at least one of us, should stay outside and try to lure it away from the elevator.
I will do that.
If it comes to that. Yeah, but you're not doing that alone.
I am not very capable with the rest of what things are, and I have no energy left for more magic. My ringstone is practically worthless right now until I sleep.
You have any throwing weapons of any kind on you?
Let me double check my inventory. I have a short bow.
All right. Shame we don't have any fire arrows. That'd be good.
Or wait, no, it should be a longbow.
Okay.
I took a short bow because I thought we were going to be considered small size, but since we're not,
I thought so too.
well, because like if you're small, you have disadvantage with a longbow. But
Correct.
since we're not, I will just switch that back up.
Yeah. Again, Pale Ring kobolds are typically somewhat larger than regular D&D kobolds. Where a regular D&D
Well-
kobold might come up to my kneecaps, Pale Ring kobolds come up to my belly button or where my ribs meet my stomach.
That's still pretty small.
It's short, but like just big enough to be considered medium.
All right.
Oops.
Like you can
Sorry,
hug
didn't
that
mean to-
without having to pick it up first.
Depends. Okay.
So, yeah, I wouldn't have switched it if I'd known we could use it without penalty.
It's all good. I don't think you've used the bow to shoot anything yet anyway.
No, we've only had the one encounter so far.
So far indeed.
Okay.
So, catch me up to speed. What's your guys' plan? I've been listening for the last few minutes, but I missed the start of your discussions, so...
Okay. Geja, Fabian, do you think you can activate the lights by yourself?
Well, Fabian be the smartest one around here. I'm pretty sure if he could figure it out, I can do anything he says. As long as it isn't lifting anything too heavy.
Okay. Because then Skaga and me would stay outside and try to lure it away from the elevator.
You should go with them, brother.
I don't want to leave you alone.
No.
Oh, ain't that sweet? I'd smile more if it didn't hurt.
Can krauven smile?
They have an equivalent.
Okay.
Yeah, like the krauven equivalent of a smile is their cheeks lift.
Okay. It's hard to tell
Yeah.
under the feathers.
I'm sure nobody can tell with us unless we show teeth, and then it just looks scary.
Oh no, yeah, like kobolds have very expressive faces.
Oh,
They can
okay.
absolutely tell if you're smiling. It's easier to tell with a kobold than it is with a human, even because your mouths are bigger.
I just want to know if I remember correctly, or if this is just a graphical thing, that there is no sludges at all in this room.
In the garden?
No, actually, in here in
the dining area?
dining area. Yeah.
Is that what that is?
You mean a fucking?
Oh, the library.
This place?
Oh, the library, right?
Oh, right, yeah. So, I mean, no, you don't recall seeing much, if any, in the way of sludge in that space.
But there was a hole.
There was a hole, yes. That is always the question here. Is there a hole? Which, don't take that out of context.
There's a hole. There's a hole. The hole in the bottom of the floor.
So, if two of us are to cause a distraction, I think it would be best to go from two different directions to confuse it. That way, if it's coming from one direction, one person would be able to bring it one way, and if it's coming from a
Right.
different direction, the other person. Brother, I think you should use the door closer to the elevator so that, if it is possible, you can get on with the others.
Okay. Okay, I will.
Which means that I will go back out this door.
Mhm.
So real quickly, you all have access to pens, right? You have like a brush tool.
Yes.
Using those, could you just mark in like your color where you want to be, where you're going for this, for your plan, just so I know where to put you.
I'm
use
planning
this?
on patrolling this hall, probably closer to up here, though.
Okay.
Just so that I can see down two hallways, one of which leads to the elevator.
All right. And the rest of you? I did not put a fish there. That is not mine. Stop drawing in my color, please. I appreciate your need for levity. I'm scarring you, but
Okay. We're just saying, okay, well, they're gonna go distract. We'll just go fishing.
you know what? I can just do this.
Anyway,
All right, guess.
Oh, jeez, mean.
Cock! Anyways. I shouldn't have asked you to start using the drawing tools. Never goes well.
All right, so Skaga is gonna go up north through there. Brother's gonna also follow her that way.
no. I'm gonna go through the other door. And, which is probably not the brightest idea, but I'll stick with that for now.
All right, where should we go? Should me and should Fabian and I? Where should we go then?
To the elevator.
Yes, but at which door?
That's for you to decide.
I think perhaps you should follow me, and then we separate at the spot that I marked. And that way, you can call to my brother when you get down to that other intersection over here.
So go this way, basically. And then wait for the signal, and then go down.
Yes.
Makes sense to me.
All right.
All
And where's the erase option?
There is no erase option. You have to select what you drew and then press the delete key.
Ah, okay. Good thing I'm not drawing like I usually do.
Right. So, if I'm understanding this correctly, the plan is Skaga patrols up here. Or, yeah, Skaga. Meanwhile, Skaz is down here by the elevator monitoring it to see what's going on with it. Gijo is following Skaga and parking himself here to keep watch, or...
No, I'm going to keep watch, and I'm going to guide them to the spot that I marked. And then they can go down this hall, and I'll watch their backs. And then when they get to this intersection down here, they can call to Skaz, and that way if something appears in the room, Skaz can slam the door shut, and they can run back towards me.
Okay. And is anyone heading for the quarantine controls?
I can do that if...
Where are the quarantine controls again?
The quarantine controls were up here.
Which one?
Give me a second. I'll mark it with red text. Just a second here. Change layer. Map. It's up here.
One closer than I thought. Fantastic.
Yeah, the room above it was a torture chamber.
So,
Okay.
yeah, if it's coming after me, then I can head that way. Or, distract it from that direction, but...
All right.
Do we regain any health on a short rest or no?
Yes. You can roll however many of your hit dice you want to up to your level and regain that many hit points.
Oh boy, I'm gonna do that.
Well, okay, so that's just two. You said D6?
Your hit die, whatever your hit die is, it should be what
If
your
you're
class
fighter,
is.
D10.
And you don't need to and you don't need to roll all of them.
Whoa.
Okay, so let's see here. Which one was that? Okay, so Gijo only gets back 3 hit points, but that's fine. That brings him back
You're
to
at
full.
full.
Yeah, you're all at full. So you're still sore, but you are in fit fighting shape after attending the remainder of your wounds, using a few final sort of spurts of magic from Skaga and your own self-care treatment. You're able to get the most important of your broken bones back into alignment and largely set to start mending. You're in pain, but you are fully functional.
Reminds me of the time when we had to deal with the buffalo that ran into the whole caravan.
All right.
Well, from the remaining lamp oil, because the lamp is gone now, maybe we can fashion a couple of new torches. Because
I mean, you could absolutely fashion a few torches just from like the sticks you use for your fireplace. That's easy enough to do.
Yeah, but sticks. Well, you need sticks. You need some kind of cloth, and you need some kind of oil, basically. So.
True enough.
But we should be able to make some makeshift torches. They probably wouldn't hold as long as normal torches, but a couple of minutes definitely.
Yeah, for the sake of brevity, I'll say sure. You are more than capable of creating enough improvised torches for the lot of you. They're basically the same as normal torches, they just don't have the same lifespan.
I have an idea here,
Oh?
but Okay, so I was sliding across that wall, so probably in the last hour I've also been just clearing off and just scooping any gunk that was still on me, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
The stuff is sticky.
Yeah, it's sticky. Okay, here's my idea. I don't know if my character has the intelligence to pull this off, but I would like to take that gunk and one of the empty bottles and take the coals that I picked out earlier, those 3 lumps of coal. I'd like to grind that coal into a powder and then mix it with the material in there into sort of like a sludge coal bottle itself. Reason being, I'm thinking that this thing could act as an igniter.
You're making just a grenade in a bottle?
A minor one. I mean, it's not like I'm using pure sulfur and lime here. But yeah, that's the question. Is like, is my character intelligent enough to pull off something like this?
Well, as far as being able to conceive of it, yes. As for crafting it, do you have what proficiencies do you have with any tools, if any, as far as like crafting goes?
Tools. Looks like the only tool thing is like dice and wagon use.
Okay, so you can try, but you won't have like a proficiency bonus, and like.
I was thinking he's got nature, so that maybe that's why he'd be able to figure it out.
I would permit you to try that. It'll be a high DC, so there's a very real chance it won't work. If you want, someone can help you to give you advantage, but it's still going to be a fairly chunky DC.
All right.
And this will be the last, like, prep thing you can do for your short rest. We're kind of pushing what you can accomplish in an hour here.
That's good.
All right, here we go.
Ooh.
And was anyone helping?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Fabian, I think, was.
Okay.
Or no, it was Skadric?
Skaz.
Skaz, yes.
Yeah.
Skaz.
You should all be able to see each other's names.
Yeah.
And let's
I gotta
scroll
zoom in.
down.
I really wish the text would change.
Ah. Well, regardless. So, with a 22 then. Yeah, I'll say you are able to do that. You're able to effectively create a compound vial of flammable organic tar. And
Yeah, it's got just a piece of cloth hanging out of the stopper at the top.
it's just a
meaning it's
Molotov cocktail. It's just a Molotov
Yes.
cocktail.
Yes.
So-
Only less drinkable. Do not drink this one.
Also called Alchemist Fire.
Yeah, kinda. What does Alchemist Fire do for damage again?
Exactly the same as a healing potion does for healing. 2d4 plus 2. As well, if I remember correctly.
Alchemist Fire. You have to see if that shows up in here.
Alchemist Fire. Where is it? Alchemist Fire. The sticky adhesive fluid ignites when exposed to air, or in your case, when you light it and toss it. As an action, you can throw this flask up to 20 feet, shattering it on impact. Make a ranged attack against a creature or object.
1d4.
It says 1d4 damage. Because that is way too low to ever be useful, I will say, for the sake of the fact that this is a very flammable substance, and just to reward you for being creative, I will allow this to do a total of 2d6 plus 2 fire damage.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yes,
Yay,
I
creativity.
I reward creativity and ingenuity, and
And good rolls.
And good rolls. Yes, I like if you manage to pull off something tricky with good rolls and teamwork and etc., I will reward that by giving you good numbers, even in a low survivability scenario like this. So you now have. We'll just for expediency, just call it a Molotov cocktail in your inventory. 2d6
I just call
plus
it
2
a
fire
vial
damage.
of flammable tar, but okay.
Fair enough. And 2d6
And
plus
Gijo-
2 fire damage.
He just explains, it's like, well, that thing burned really well back there. Even its own mucus or whatever the heck this gunk is. Maybe we could use it as some sort of fire starter on it. You know, throw a little bit of itself back at it.
All right. And the kobolds, I will say, just for purposes, because of your intense sense of smell, you're able to definitely get, as you're sort of hovering around and paying attention to this process, that the tar that Gijo was working with, the residual smears left over from the mass, it definitely smells strongly of rot and vomit, almost. Like, whatever this thing is, it's basically just stomach stuff. It's just sentient, aggressive stomach stuff trying to eat you.
This stomach eats you back.
I mean, you don't typically eat stomachs. Stomachs are where eating things go to die. But regardless, with that is the last
Okay.
thing you can do while on this short rest. It's time to start getting into motion. So
Let's go.
Skaga is going out into the northern hall with Gijo. Skaz is marking the southern passage to keep an eye on it. Like, is Skaz checking to see if the quarantine is even in effect? Is that what he's doing?
I thought we would hear something like a brrr.
I mean, you can still hear the
If,
alarms going off.
Huh.
Those haven't stopped.
Well, we did switch off the
I believe, as I recall, you switched it and then you switched it back.
correct.
Because, like, it didn't do anything and you didn't know, and you didn't want it to do something untoward to you when you got the power back on, so you flipped it back to its original position.
Right.
All right, so.
Could we remove the dick from the exit, please?
What? Oh, for fuck, who put that there?
And who did that?
God, what? Wasn't me.
Wasn't me. I can't select it.
Let's see here. Can I... Nope, I cannot check and see who has permissions for it. So I'm just
I
gonna
have
do
I have a
this.
wild guess.
All right.
Nick.
All right. That dick got real happy, and now it's gone.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
So
Um,
Enough
I'm
dicking around. Let's get to it.
actually, I am gonna use my mage hand to stay basically hidden and use that to throw some things into holes
all right.
to basically attract it.
Okay. First, make a stealth check. In fact, anyone who wants to be stealthy in this can go ahead and do that now, and we'll just have that as your DC.
Sneaking. Mew.
Thank you, Joes.
Ooh.
All right. So a 20, a 20, a 12.
Give me a second. My computer crapped out. Now it doesn't recognize my mouse.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What is this thing attached to me?
Does it all the time now.
Oh no. Sad noises.
Alright, I'm gonna restart. I'll be right back.
All right. I can just roll a stealth for you if you don't mind.
Appreciate it.
Okay, I'll just hop into your sheet and just roll that real quick. From you, that will be a... Well, that'll be a 13 from you. All right, so 2 20s, a 12, and a 13. Not a bad spread. So, Mick, Skaz, you were using Mage Hand to throw some rocks into the nearby holes to see if you could attract the thing?
Correct.
All right, you use Mage Hand, you pick up a few stones, and just give them a little toss into the holes.
Uh-oh.
There does not appear to be any response. Which
Then
says to you
I'll,
that, at least for the moment, the mass is not in your vicinity.
Okay. Then I'll just to the others to go ahead and let's see what happens.
Right now. We gotta wait for Sepia to finish fixing her things before that can happen, because Skaga's kind of leading the way up there.
Correct.
Making plans. Always fun when that happens. I will just go ahead and pause the recording until Sepia gets back. All right, Skaz is back. So, to catch you up on what you missed, Mick, toss. You rolled a 13 on your stealth, by the way. That's what that 13 is in the log. Skaz used Mage Hand to chuck a rock down one of the holes, and then a 1d20 was rolled, result of 16, and the mass did not emerge, indicating that, at least for the time being, it is not in his vicinity. So, take that
So I
to
give
mean
you a
what you will.
shrug and tell you to go.
Right.
All right. All right, so Skaza, you're stepping out into the hall?
Yes.
All right. You step out into the hall. 13 stealth. All right. You'll cast your eyes back and forth, glancing in particular toward this hole over here. But for a mercy, you don't see any sign of the mass just now. Nor do you pick up its scent. It doesn't seem to be close, at least not right now, so you have a moment of relative peace to navigate.
I will usher the other two and start heading towards that intersection.
All right.
So are those bells still going off, by the way?
Yes, the alarms are still going off. They have not stopped once. Thankfully, they're not too grating. You kind of just... And they were much quieter when you were outside in the rain. I would have it going as
don't-
an actual sound effect, but I don't want to annoy you.
Understandable.
Thank you.
So
Quietly,
so just know that there is this constant noise going off in the distance.
yeah, Gijo just suddenly has an epiphany and just like whispers to the other two. I don't want to sound like I'm stating the obvious, but what if the alarm that we're hearing is because the quarantine is actually already active?
We'll deal with that when we get there.
All right. So park yourself where you're heading, Skaga, and I'll just move the others to catch up with you. All right. So, and now, Gijo and Fabian. Casting your eyes down these hallways, none of you see any sign of the mass just now. Where are you heading next?
Right, so you two go that way. If it remains safe, let me know if the elevator can operate or not, and I will go toggle the switch.
We head south to the elevator. All right. Let's hope this works. So I guess we'll head down to this intersection.
You will, at the very least. What's Fabian doing? Is Fabian heading that way, or is he staying with Skaga?
I'm heading that way.
All right, you're sticking with Gijo?
Yes.
Don't die. That would be rude. If you have to
I thought
die,
that
do
was
it
the
outside.
point.
It's less paperwork. A little pearl of wisdom that came from my high school computer lab teacher, everyone. If you have to bleed, do it outside. It's more paperwork if you bleed on my carpet. He pretty much did that for anything that he didn't want, like fighting, bleeding, dying, yelling. If you were gonna do something, do it outside so he'd have less paperwork to do. Which, you know what? I respect.
Yeah.
All right, so Gijo and Fabian, you navigate down that darkened corridor, your torchlight barely pushing back the seemingly thickening shadows, your only other source of light being the inlaid, glowing conduits of blue that provide not enough light to see by, but enough to know when you're in a hallway. You can just follow the lines. Looking east and west, you do not see any signs of the mass right now.
Right. To the elevator then.
All right, so Gijo, you push open the door, poke your head into the room. Again, don't see any sign of the mass right now.
You may see Skas lurking at the other door.
Yeah, you kind of catch a couple of eyes reflecting light back at you like a cat's from the garden door, which is very slightly ajar, creating like this
Gijo just-
cone of light across the floor.
Gijo just looks at him, nods his head, fingers to his beak, but just being quiet, and motions to Fabian to follow him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and you're heading for the elevator.
Yep, heading to the elevator.
All right. Stepping into the elevator room, you can see multiple different inlaid currents sort of feeding into this room. Interestingly, one of them is intersecting with another. Almost like a T-junction where one of the lines is coming forward, moving toward the lever that you spotted earlier next to the elevator platform, but then another current crosses its path, and currently no current is reaching the lever.
Damn it.
And kind of clocking it in your head, Gijo, you quickly deduce that the lever has no power at present. The logical conclusion would probably be that the quarantine is in effect on it.
Yeah. And then, so Gijo turns around and he motions to Skaz behind the door to come close, and then they move and he moves into the other hallway past the door where there's no nearby holes. He motions Fabian to come as well.
All right. Is all the group complying?
Mm-hmm.
You're
what
gonna assume.
Skaz is.
Yep. All right. And Fabian's just gonna follow the crowd because he doesn't want to be alone, man. He's scared.
Exactly.
So then Gijo then whispers to the group, "Oh, damn it, I didn't just realize until we started moving. The noise? Yeah, that's the quarantine. It's already in effect. Duh, it's alarm bells. Even worse, that elevator? No power's going to it. So,
Okay.
must mean the quarantine is currently going on, meaning we have to go turn it off."
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, the idea was that you signal me and I will go take care of it.
You two stay here. I'll cover Skaga.
All right, we'll wait around. Gijo just waits here at the corner then to listen.
All right. So, Skaz, you kind of round the bend and make your way up north towards Skaga. Skaga, you see your brother approaching.
And
Just kinda-
I motion for her to go for it.
All right, I will start pattering off that way.
All right.
And I am going to follow through the library.
Okay.
And you guys stay at the elevator. And
All right.
if it turns active, go.
So, Gijo will right here in the door to keep an eye on the switch to see if the lever happens. Fabian, wherever you want to wait.
All right.
Right there.
Right.
Okay. And Skaga is just heading for the lever, and Skaz is
Yep.
moving through the library.
Yes.
All right.
So, I mean, I haven't put myself in there just in case you had something going on, but I will quietly head over to it so that I can toggle switch.
All right. You poke your nose into the room, look around a bit. You don't see the mass, but your eyes do linger on that hole for a moment. You can make a
Has to
perception
be
check
done.
if you like.
I would love to.
All right. I'll
If you were a
give
bit
you
stronger.
advantage for the scent side of things because kobold.
If you're
Awesome.
a bit larger, I'd say move the desk over the hole.
I don't know
Yeah.
how much that would slow it down.
I don't think much. It's
Probably.
probably very strong.
23.
Nice.
All right. All right, so you kind of sniff at the air a few times, and if you were capable of having goosebumps and your hair standing on end, they would be right now. A fight or flight instinct kicks in. You can just make out its scent.
Ugh.
It's in that hole in that room. It seems to be waiting. As for whether or not it's noticed you yet, you don't know.
Okay. I don't know if I'm stuck with the stealth roll I've got, but I would like to try and get to the lever as quietly as possible.
Given the shifting circumstances, I will allow you to reattempt the stealth roll.
And when I see Gaga stealthing into the room, I will try and stealth up to the door at least.
All right, 9. That's your stealth.
Yeah,
You got the jitters.
that's
Like
got to
you-
be done regardless.
Yeah, you're stepping lightly, but you're scared. That's a
Oh.
7 from Mick. That's not great.
Oh man.
I'm just gonna yank it and
Alright.
be ready to run.
All right.
Yeah,
So
Pretty
go
high up,
ahead
though.
and make for me an acrobatics check to make the jump up to it. It won't be a terribly hard DC.
Okay. Acrobatics. Right there. Oh my god.
Well, lucky you. I did say it wasn't terribly hard with you being, a fucking springy little kobold. So it takes you a second. Your feet kind of, going along with your stealth of 9, your clawed toes kind of scrabble against the stone of the wall a bit as you hoist yourself up, sort of finding gaps in the bricks to climb. Unfortunately, there is the scraping and the scrabbling as you're doing that. And from the hole, you hear And I need you all to roll initiative.
Alright.
Hey.
We're going to clear the turn order here.
Oh my god.
I'm quick for once. Sheesh.
Alrighty, so the scenario begins as the mass comes surging out of the hole, the squirming, writhing mass of arms and teeth and tendrils, dripping, hungry, and seemingly quite furious. So, it is Skaz's turn first.
Okay. This here
That
was
is a big-ass desk that also had,
Okay.
like, buttons on it for controlling the various cell doors.
Right. Okay, but I can look over it, right?
You can just peer over it and see the mass rising up. The mass is big, so you can see it. Sort of poking your head into the room from that corner there.
Could I Eldritch Blast it from here?
I would say, given the angle, this thing probably has at least a bit of cover.
Okay, then.
Let's see. Where's
no.
where's the cover table? Just so I know how much. Where is
No,
it?
forget it. I won't be able to hit it with cover. It's got a pretty decent armor class.
Fair enough. I would say it would have like 1/2 cover, so it'd get a +2 to
Yep.
its armor class.
Okay. From here. Still. I probably have to go here.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. So you kind of park yourself there. You've got a good enough line of sight. That was like 3 squares of movement to get there.
Yes.
All right. So
I cast again hex
Alright.
on it
hex. Right.
with one of my spell slots.
There's
and-
no opposed roll to that. It just happens.
Nope, it happened.
All right. And that imposes a disadvantage on one of its ability scores, right?
That is correct, and I choose strength once again.
All right. Its strength is now disadvantaged. So as you see this thing rising up and threatening Skaga, you quickly burst into the room, issue out a quick incantation. You feel your connection to the dragon through your touched blood sort of flicker forward. This pulse of energy surges out, hits the mass, and it turns its eyes aggressively toward you.
That was my bonus action, and now as my action, I'm gonna reach and a blast of energy forms itself and shoots at the thing.
Eldritch Blast.
There.
So
And
evidently,
I do not think that will hit.
I do not think a natural 1 critical fail 7 will hit. No. So
Yeah.
So you send out this burst of energy, just raw draconic fury, and it's almost as if this thing is familiar with the nature of your attack. As you fire this bolt of energy, its whole amorphous body just unnaturally twists around the beam, and you hear this almost nostalgic burbling from it, like someone's chuckling at an old joke told to them by a long forgotten friend who only just got back into their life. It found your effort amusing.
You need to leave.
Yeah. 5.
Sacrifice the kobolds.
Alright, you got 5 feet of movement left. There you go. All right, that is Skaga's turn. Gijo, it is to you. You are not currently aware of the conflict happening up there. All you are aware of is that the alarm bells suddenly stop, and one of the inlaid currents of power shuts off, and the other one is no longer disrupted, reaches the lever, and a whole bunch of like little inset like gems or light sources all along the 4 pillars in the corner of the room suddenly glow bright, and you hear the churning of machinery in the walls. It would seem that your friends were successful and the elevator is now accessible.
All right. Where is the lever to be thrown?
Right here.
Specifically. Right there. All right.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me just mark that. Doop 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 doo. Okay. And let me do a little measurement here. Okay, and all right. All right. Well then. Oh geez. Whoops. Come on. Give me rid of them. There we go. Measurement gone. Okay. I'd like to. Actually, I've never done this before, so I'm not sure how it works. But I would like to try and grab, Fabian, and like by the hand, just to hustle him over there with me. It's like, come on, we gotta move.
I mean,
Would I use my action doing that? I would assume.
You know what? I will allow Fabian to go along with that if he is willing, but it will cost him all of his movement to do that when his turn comes around. So basically just say that we're just doing it at the same time.
That is fine by me.
All
All
right,
right.
so 30 feet means I move right there. So boop, boop, just in place.
Yep.
I assume he'd be like right behind me.
Yeah, he'd be like right there, yeah.
All right, and if I remember correctly, throwing a switch is like a bonus action, right?
Something like that?
All right, well then I just like to throw the switch then.
Throw the lever, Conk.
All right, so you grab the lever and you give it a hard, and as you do, you hear the grinding of machinery and gears, and the grinding of stone on stone, as the platform you're on begins to rise up.
Yeah, you have to say lower.
That would be rude. Skaga, it's your go.
Wrong way. I pressed down, not up.
Well, you are aware of how my character's mentality is, so she's stopping there and dropping her backpack and drawing her swords and screaming at Skaz to run.
Okay, that your turn?
Yep.
All right, then it is to the mass.
The mess.
Yep. And it will come surging out of that door, sort of just knocking the stone off its hinges with the shattering of rock. And its body twists and shifts around unnaturally like a child playing with taffy. And it, like, you just know it senses you, and hungrily it surges toward you and is going to attempt to ensnare you.
Gotcha. See, this is why I told none of you to follow me.
Right, let's hear. So, does the disadvantage on strength extend to attacks, or is it only on saving throws?
Oh, not even saving throws. It's just skill rolls and such.
Right, so
It's
would
like a
not...
grapple check.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so, woof. Ow, Jesus.
Did it hit me really hard?
That is definitely... I misread the attack roll for the damage roll for a second, and I thought it hit you for 25 points of damage, which it does not do. It rolled a 25 to hit you.
Huh, yeah.
So that
That's
is
10 over.
so that will be that is 10 points of bludgeoning damage to you, bringing you down to 5 hit points as these tendrils lash out and just pelt into the front of you. You feel your own bones breaking and scales cracking from the force of the impact. And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. 22. You are not grappled by the mass. You feel it like trying to pull you back, but you bring your sword around in this like sort of downward arc and manage to cut the worst of it off of you. The mass kind of withdraws a bit with an angry burbling, but doesn't do anything else for the moment. Fabian, you don't have a movement, but you do have the rest of your action. You're on a platform rising up into the air. If there's anything you want to do, you can. Otherwise, you can just hold your action and stay put.
I'm gonna hold my action and stay put.
All right. Skaz, it's to you.
Damn it. Okay. It worked once. I hope it'll work again. I focus this mass, writhing mass, and shouted it with in the ancient draconic language, flee.
All right. It needs to make a saving throw against that, right?
Correct.
What's
It needs to make, I believe it's a wisdom. So, check. Come on.
Yes, wisdom saving throw, DC 14.
Right.
16. It resists. You issue this command, and like you see its mind, and you see like its whole body like rippling like ferrofluid under a magnet, before you actually hear a strangled voice gurgling back at you. I do not answer to you, Dragonkin.
Damn it.
I told you to run.
Yeah, I am.
All right. All right. So you try that, you issue that response, you're like, oh shit. And you start booking it. I believe that's as far as you can get on your turn.
Correct.
All right. Gijo. You just standing there?
Yeah.
All right, you're just wait. We'll just assume you guys are riding the elevator. So back to Skaga.
Elevator music. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, since he's not far enough away to be safe, I'm going to attack.
Okay.
No!
Roll it.
We built these characters together. You should understand that this was coming.
An 11 does not
Off-
hit.
Okay.
You
Offhand.
you get another attack.
Yes, I took dual wielding as my specialty, so
All right.
I get. So I do have two swords.
Oh,
12.
That doesn't hit either. So, so you lunge in with your two swords with two quick thrusts, and both of them do sink into the mass's liquidy flesh, but it does not seem perturbed in the slightest. You kind of look up at it as like this humanoid skeletal face, just mummified in this black tar, pushes out through the mass, and its teeth just start clicking at you. It's its turn, unless you want to try moving.
Nope.
All right.
If I stay here, it has to use an action to get me.
Indeed.
I have a question for the DM because I can't remember if I asked this before. Do you operate on magic pocket inventory rules? Meaning somebody, like, if we forgot earlier to transfer stuff, we could transfer like an item to somebody else.
what?
It depends.
Even if it was a potion, I had to use my bonus action to do the offhand attack.
It depends on circumstances. Sometimes I allow it, sometimes I don't. It depends on circumstances and what would actually make sense for your characters to do and if they would remember to. What are you considering?
I would like to give. I would like to have said to Skaz to have him take the little tar
Molotov?
potion, the tar Molotov. Yeah, because whereas I'm a frontliner, I wouldn't be using it.
And also, you're with the elevator. You're not actually fighting the enemy.
Yeah.
I will allow that. It would make sense. That would be a tactically sound decision. Your character has been in tactical situations. You would know to do that. So, Skaz, you have the grenade.
Damn it.
Either way, so it is the mass's turn. And it is going to, once again, attempt to ensnare you, Skaga.
Sounds good.
So let's see what happens.
No.
Critical fail! So, as its tendrils come lurching toward you, it seems overconfident, as if some remembered pious self-righteousness has given it this surge of overconfidence, where it's almost like it's toying with you, as the tendrils sort of like flit about, teasing at the edges of your vision, like it's trying to make you guess where it's going to attack from. And when it does finally make a lunge, you see it coming. You might be mad, Skaga, but you are a good fighter. You are a hunter by nature. So you know these tells, and as it comes darting in, you basically turn to the side, and just to strip away what little dignity this thing has, as its tendrils snapping by, you open your mouth up wide and give it a big old chomp. Just right on the tendril. It tastes revolting, but you basically just snip off one of its tendrils, and it roars in pain. It doesn't take any damage from that. It's just fun thematics.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it does not kill you. Fabian, you're listening to elevator music. Skaz, you're up.
Yay.
I can't leave my sister.
Well, I mean, you do have the grenade.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
We only need to be.
That should be actually enough. I want to toss the grenade and follow it up with burning hands.
Ooh.
That just miss Gaga.
Okay. You know what? That is a clever combination of things there. Okay, so go ahead and make for me are you just like, are you not trying to actively hit the mass with the grenade? Or are you just tossing it and then catching it with the explosion of your spell?
More or less, yes.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I will allow that. There's a chance there might be splash damage on Skaga. We'll see. So go ahead. Does Burning Hands come with a saving throw?
Yes.
Oh.
I believe it's dexterity saving throw, but let me link it real quick.
Dexterity saving throw. Okay.
For half.
6. It fails.
So
So go
that
ahead
is
and
3d6.
roll Burning Hands damage, and then roll the Molotov damage.
A 1, a 2. Burning Hand. 12.
Hey, not bad.
And Molotov.
It was 2d6
That
plus
was-
2, I believe.
2d6
Yep, 2d6 plus 2. I wrote down.
10.
All right.
Oh, and also because I have hex on it, it'll take another d6 from every attack that I make against it. Probably not from the explosion, since that is not really coming from me, but it
I will
definitely takes-
allow it on the grounds that I am rewarding you for being creative with using your items.
Okay.
So
Then
that is
another 4 incredible damage.
Okay,
that
is
is
that-
necrotic, however.
Okay, so
that is
necrotic. Let me see here. No particular reaction to necrotic, so it'll just take a flat 4 from the necrotic. But from the 12 and the 8 fire damage from Burning Hands and the Molotov, it will take a full 40 points of fire damage.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah, no, it did not like that. You throw forward that grenade, let out this surge of flame that washes over the mass's body, and you hear this agonized wail just And on some primal level, you feel satisfied, and just through your ringstone, you just get a little nod of approval from your dragon. She is pleased that you managed to harm this thing, so it's like, well done, my thrall.
Yeah, I'm still got.
Okay, so that is your turn, I believe.
Yeah.
All right,
Fuck.
Gijo, you feel a little. That's about it. You can feel a little tremor in the ground, and you just assume it's the elevator hitting something, but you're fine. Skaga, the mass is on fire and shrieking in pain. What do you do?
Do I have any indication that it's going to be focused on that at all?
Make an insight check.
Next
I'll let you
turn.
do that as a free action.
All right.
Run, Skaga, I need you.
If it catches us both, we both die.
Nah.
Oh, it's not rolling. Oh, there it is.
There we go. 18. Okay, yeah, so you gleam, based on the way it's thrashing and twisting and writhing, and what you managed to glean from Gijo's descriptions of your previous encounter with this thing, it really hates fire. It's probably not going to chase you, at least for a moment.
The
It is
opportunity-
going to be prioritizing putting itself out.
We need to move as fast as possible, so I'm not going to disengage. I'm just going to
All right.
step
that-
out and
so-
start shoving him since he's
Okay.
not listening to me.
Okay, so that will trigger an
I
attack
was.
of opportunity. It's not prioritizing attacking you, but it's still going to take an opportunity to whack at you if it can get it before it runs. So so let's see what happens. This will be a 14 to hit. That just misses your 15 armor class.
15!
You just dodged that. So as you sort of duck back, you see one of its tendrils sort of like just filling up with fury and swinging around at you. And you just managed to duck. You feel it pass over the tips of your horns, and like your whole head sort of like twists sharply to the side from that. And you're pretty confident if that had hit you even a little bit more directly, your neck would have just snapped.
Most
with that-
likely.
but with
May I
that,
do
you're-
the same? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
You can do the thing with Skaz that Gijo did with Fabian, if Skaz agrees to it.
Yeah, reluctantly.
All right, so the remainder of your movement will be spent moving Skaz, and he will sacrifice that much movement on his next turn.
Okay, so
So you've
from
already moved
here,
10.
I can go another 50.
All right,
Yes,
another 50.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, because I am dashing, and I'm going
Right,
to shove
okay.
him with me.
Doing that, I will say that doing that will also sacrifice Skaz's own movement, own action, because he'll have to dash too, unless he wants to stop where where his normal movement speed ends.
No.
Yeah, I'll let
that's
you decide that.
okay. Oh, that's okay.
So it's like, however far you just moved, you will still have movement left over when your turn starts, Skaz, but you'll be down in action.
Okay.
But you'll have until your turn comes around to think about that. Because for now, it's back to the mass. It is on fire. It does not wish to be on fire. So it is going to do as its mechanics dictate. It's going to retreat up, disappear into the room, and slide into its hole. That ends its turn. Fabian, you're up. You're just standing there. The elevator is continuing to rise. I'd say it's like a solid, 40 feet in the air at this point. Skaz, it is to you, and I'm going to change the music. So I think you have like 10 feet of movement left, Skaz?
I do, yes. The library. Go through the library.
Right.
Because I was thinking that I might be able to set the libraries or the remainder of those books on fire and
Create a hazard for it.
yeah, things like that.
It's worth a shot.
But I
Either way.
only have this much of movement left.
So yeah, so that's as far as you can
Sorry.
get for now. It's all good. Gijo. You're still in the elevator.
Yep.
I might as well just remove
It's an
you two
elevator.
from the turn order for now.
Yeah.
All right, Skaga.
I'm just gonna say, if you do decide to burn any books, please start with the tax code.
All right.
I'm
so-
just gonna start booking it.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense. You can get about there. All right, that's your go. It is to the masses' turn. Skaz, since you're the one who heard it so much, I would like you to roll me 1d4.
That's probably not a good sign.
One.
A 1.
All right. You can't see it right now, but you do hear it. As it reemerges from its hole, no longer on fire. So, it is going to use its movement.
There's only one. I mean, it's still in its same spot, so it's gonna take some time.
Yep. So it emerges and it uses its movement action to start approaching, having used its action to emerge in the first place. So the way that mechanic works is that once it submerges itself into a hole, whoever heard it on your point when its turn comes up, whoever heard it rolls a 1d4. The first time you roll that, on a 1, it emerges. The second time, on a 1 or a 2, it emerges. And just so on, until it just emerges on the 4th round, regardless.
Right.
But that's as far as it can get for now. It is to your turn, Skaz.
Okay.
You know where it's coming from.
You do.
I'm gonna make a rude gesture in its general directions.
Just like hiss at it.
So basically, tail through the legs, and dodge in here.
All right.
One more. This 30.
All right.
Let's see. No, I need to use my action to dash, actually.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. As far as you can get for now,
Correct.
Skaga.
5, 10, 15, 20.
I tell Skaga, light the box on fire, now! Oh,
I don't have the means to, brother.
don't you have, like, a torch? Okay. Damn it.
I gave it back to. I gave it to somebody because theirs went out.
All right.
Because I could see.
There was the makeshift torches you made back in the garden.
Yeah.
So
Oh right.
yeah, you do have
So
those.
I'll do what Gijo was doing, and I'll just touch it to the bookshelves as I run by.
You are moving faster than Gijo was when he was in the passage, so I'll let you do this as a bonus action. Go ahead and make for me, just roll a flat 1d20.
Says it's
13. That is what you
There we go.
needed. So, you are able to start creating fires along the bookcases you run along. They're not necessarily big fires right now, but they are fires, and it is a start. So, I will just start dropping this in where it makes sense to. All right.
Oh no, you started in the romance section.
I don't. It's like burning 50 Shades of Grey. Who cares? All right. Okay, that is your turn, Skaga. You have created some fire. It is to the mess. It's going to get there with its movement. It is going to take an action to dash. Get there with 15 feet of movement. And its remaining 15 feet of movement will bring it there. As Skaz, as you sort of get around that bend and you look over your shoulder, you just see the library door crack and break open as the mass surges forward and out. It twists around for a second before its eyes land on you, or its perception at least lands on you. And you just hear this infuriated, squelching roar as it starts surging toward you. You have a moment to respond. It's your turn. What do you do?
Same as Skaga. I'm gonna run along the bookshelves and set them on ablaze.
All right. 1d20 roll for lighting the things on fire as you pass. 13 or higher, and you succeed.
Bad feeling about this.
19. Nice. All right. Go ahead and park yourself where you're going, and I will light things on fire behind you.
Running. I'm running over here.
Indeed. All right. So, there we go. All righty. So that is your whole turn. You just spent a full action to dash. Skaga.
I will just keep dashing out. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. I can get to the door.
Alrighty. So you break out of the library and just book it, sprinting as fast as your legs can carry you, your lungs burning, partly from the smoke and partly from the exertion. It is the mass. So, let's see here. So it will get there with about 15 feet of movement, and as before, it is going to find itself having a hard time moving through fire unperturbed. So it's going to, I believe it was a Constitution saving throw is what I had it roll before.
I don't remember.
I think it was Constitution.
Yeah, so it'll be a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage because it doesn't like fire. 14. Not quite. So, its movement speed will be halved for this round as it's moving through fire. So 10. Like with a dash, 20, 30, 40. That's as far as it can get right now. And it is going to take about that much in the way of damage that upsets it.
Ouch.
I need to move it to front so I can actually engage with it. Bring to front. There we go. Okay.
If you kill this creature by a library fire, I'll find that hilarious.
I
highly
doubt it.
Right. Okay. So. All right. Either way. So that is its turn. Skaz, it's to you.
I know I should book it. I absolutely know I should, but I can't resist just shooting another Eldritch Blast at it.
All right. Yeah, you can try that. Roll it. You can't really see it through the fire and the starting to gather smoke, so you fire off an Eldritch Blast and it just kind of veers off into something. You're not really sure.
But I'm gonna book it as good as I can.
All right, there you go. Skiga, it is to you.
So when I get here, can I see that the elevator's gone?
Well, that depends. Fabian and Gijo, did you leave the door open?
Pretty sure he was on the other side, and when I grabbed him, I was pulling him along, so we probably left the door wide open.
Okay, so yeah, Skaga, looking through the door, you can just see it open, and appearing through the shadow, you can see that the elevator is rising. You can see this kind of like a corkscrew spiral pillar just ascending where the platform was.
Outside, brother. Outside.
Yeah, that's smart.
I was gonna say I do have rope.
But is
So?
there any way for us to squeeze between the moving wall and the not moving wall to get up there?
I don't think so.
Well, that's the thing. The elevator is just exposed. It's just a platform rising up. It doesn't have walls around it.
Oh, it's just floating up.
Well, it's not floating. It's rising on a pillar, but it's not contained. You can shout up, and the people on it can hear you. It's basically like a mushroom, if you think about it like that, and they're standing on top of it, and it's just getting taller.
I'll just... The blob is coming! And I'll start running, actually, for the front door instead of the garden, and calling Skaz that way.
All right, Gijo and Fabian, remind me what your initiative rolls were again, and I can add you to the turn order now that you're aware of the situation.
I
think it was like an 18 from you, wasn't it, Gijo?
I can scroll up. 18.
And Fabian, I feel like Fabian was a 10.
A 6.
What?
6. Yeah.
Yeah, 6.
Okay. All right. Okay, we'll just do this real quick and put ourselves back on Skaga's position in the turn order. So you just spend the rest of your turn booking it south, Skaga?
Yes, I'm going out the front door.
All right. Interesting strategy. Fabian,
Yeah.
it's your go. What you doing? You heard Skaga shouting, "The blob is coming!" before her little taloned feet clicking away into the distance. Understood. We'll see if we can wrap this up quickly, Mick.
He's gonna be as far away from the door as possible.
All right, that all you doing, Fabian? God. Dude, don't die. We talked about this.
Oh, my head. Oh, hang on. Okay.
That sounds
Sorry,
worse
that
than me.
one snuck up on me. I couldn't hit mute.
Go away.
That's it.
All right, well, to the mass. Disadvantage con save from it. 17. It is not bothered this time.
Right.
So,
It'll still take damage, though, won't it?
yeah, it'll still take some damage.
Book it, little kobold. Book it.
Would if I could. Oh, that's nice.
All right. Okay, so it spends its whole turn just charging, like, Skaz. You can hear it coming as, like, bookshelves are falling over. It's,
Oh shit.
it angy. It angy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just booking it. I think that's as far as I come.
All right. Okay. Gijo, it's to you.
Egypt does the opposite. He readies his light crossbow and looks over the edge at the door, ready and waiting.
All right.
Holding an action then, if possible.
All right. Yep. No, that's possible. Skaga.
Sorry, let me... So that's still there. Because, I don't know, I feel like we could go to the garden and be safe, but I feel like we just kind of trapped there because we still need to leave regardless. And I honestly will probably fail any athletics check to climb up there with you, even with rope, so... I'm going to switch my swords out and pull out my longbow to just kind of cover Skaz as I stop at this hallway.
Probably
All
good
right.
idea.
All right. Fabian
So
is cowering.
I'll hold an action to shoot at it if it comes into view.
All right. Well, let's see here. It just does come bursting into the room behind Skaz. Given all the obstacles between you, it'll be considered as having half cover, but you can still make the shot.
All right. Where'd it go?
You need to hit 20 though.
Possible, but not likely.
That's okay. Come on. Wake up.
Nope. Yeah, you fire the shot, and your aim's good, but there's just too much shit in your way. You don't land it. Just kind of scrapes across that pillar and spirals to the floor. All right, Fabian, that's its turn. Skaz, it's to you, my man. You just booking it more?
This is how far I can go with a normal move. And I don't think I'll hit it at all.
Let's just keep going. So
Wait. Can I give you a healing potion as a bonus action?
I'll allow it.
Okay. Then I'll push a healing potion into your hand as a bonus action.
okay.
And then you just keep going.
Right.
Whee! Alrighty. Gijo, you do not have line of sight on the thing, but you do hear it breaking down the door
All right.
out in the main room, so you know it's close.
How close are we to the next level?
Looking up, I'd say you estimate that you're maybe halfway there.
Halfway?
Oh God.
The thing isn't rising super duper fast.
Damn.
I'd say it's rising super duper slow.
Well then,
It's rising slow enough that it's not a hazard if you're standing on it and it suddenly stops.
understandable. All right. Well then, he's just gonna continue holding his crossbow at the ready and looking at the door. He's not gonna make any sound or anything. But
Alright.
I assume, I'm just guessing on luck, that creature's gonna hear that elevator.
Oh, let's hear. Skaga, it's to you.
All right. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 60.
All right, you go
And-
sprinting, burst out through the through that door and into the entrance hall, and you see the exit. The door currently appears to be closed, but you don't see any mechanisms indicating that it is currently locked. So you could probably force it open.
Okay, and I would like to drink the healing potion that my brother gave me.
All right, roll it.
Okay.
2d4 plus 2.
Shit. Okay, 5.
That's not a lot, but it's better than
damn it.
nothing. So you're up to 10 HP. That's a third. That's better than nothing. All right. Fabian is continuing to be without his dignity. Because we've all just kind of collectively agreed he's the group punching bag, I think. As for the mass, it's going to move about here.
If Fabian dies, he's canonically dying in the Yamcha pose.
All right, well, so the mass arrives there. Gijo, don't bother, you're way too high up to have an angle on it. It is going to hesitate there for a second, because you are right, it hears the elevator, but it also sees prey escaping toward the exit to the south, so its attention is torn. If I could have Gijo and Skaga both roll me 1d20.
Sure thing.
Opposite ends of the spectrum.
Indeed. The mass begins to move north.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
And it can get
Alright.
about there with its movement. So, as it comes surging into the room, Gijo, your held action for crossbow bolt shot goes off.
All right. 1 second.
You're good.
And where is it? There's my menu. And crossbow.
No.
You just miss, unfortunately. As you fire off the shot, it kind of like ducks and dodges to the side. It lets out this hateful, seething sound as it sees you ascending. And as we come to the top of the next round, given the time, Mick unfortunately has to go. So,
Sorry.
you're fine, man. You are fine. We'll pick this up in another week. So this is where we're going to stop for now.
Oh
My
no.
heart. My heart.
Yeah, it's a pretty tense little situation you've landed yourselves in, huh?
Oh,
Likely.
So,
That grenade was awesome, though.
it was.
Yes.
That came in clutch. That saved your life. You guys are proven to be resourceful against this thing. I approve. But yes, so we'll pick this up next time. If these go up on YouTube, then thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so much for watching this spookiness unfold. We'll see you next time. Until then, take care of yourselves, keep listening, and don't be dicks. Bye-bye.
can't tell me what to do.
You're not my real dad.
No, I'm your dungeon master.